Good evening. My name is Editha Cyllina. So I'm a student from Cognitive Science at the Faculty of Cognitive Science and Human Development. So can you introduce yourself based on the age, what the level of study, and the courses you take?
Hello, good evening. My name is Editha, and I'm 22 years old this year. And I study at UNIMAS in Faculty of Applied and Creative Arts and taking music.
Okay, so I'm gonna to ask the question. So firstly, can I know what the most difficult subject or courses you are taking right now?
The most difficult one is music theory.
Okay, so how do you usually study?
Usually, I'm studying by asking my lecturers about the extra notes, or sometimes I asking my friend also. And we studied in group friends. Yeah.
Okay, can I know do you remember or understand the new information from the courses or the subject you take right now?
Mm, Sometimes, by how I remember it, is that I usually do the exercises that my lecturer gives to me. Like, there's exercises when, I mean, the subject that he taught there, he will ask us to do the exercises. By doing that, I can remember it little by little. If not, sometimes I'll be asking my lecturers also and my friends.
Okay, so what the strategy that can help you to learn better?
My strategies is taking notes from the lecture. Mm.
And the last question is what the most challenges that you face when learning?
The challenges that I face is when in class, the lecturers are teaching, still teaching, but my friends will talking to me. That will like disturb my focus on the lecture. So when the lecture, it's my turn to do the exercises. I want to understand a little bit of what my lecturer taught me that day. And sometimes I've also forgot about what he taught us. So without my friends helping me, I won't know how to do the exercises. So that's what challenges I face.
So, based on the video of interview, I divide for the two sections, which is one, the first section is the reflection on learning, and second is the theory, which is the linking to connection and learning theories. For the first section, which is the reflection on learning, I got three, which is expected versus reality, the surprise, and effective and not effective, the strategy. For the first one is expected versus reality, which is I expected from this interviewee, which is a solitary textbook-based study for a complex subject like music theory. But in reality, she relies on the social mediation, which is that she immediately used the post-class peer discussion and extra lecture from lecture note to processing the information. The second reflection is the surprise, which is having a major contradiction that exists, whereby when the structure of her learning and comprehension that happen collaboratively rather than during independently study. For the third reflection is effective and not effective, which is the first effective is she being proactive self-regulation, whereby she used the practical exercise immediately to the complex knowledge. And the not effective is high vulnerability, that temporary forgetting if she isolated from the peer support networks or the structure tasks. For the second section is the linking to connection and learning theories. The first theory is the metacognition. So based on the interview, she says that the metacognition is how the way we thinking with our own, which is that has a two part, which is knowledge and regulation. Based on the interview, that has she has a knowledge, but we based on the regulation. And for the cognitive breakdown is that she needs some more practical exercise that need to be understanding the music theory, and she getting more distracted or delays her own study and cannot control her own learning habit that could causing to forget everything. The second theory is Vygotsky approach, which is the social interaction that and talking with other they call as high order thinking skills or HOTS, and then the learning move from auto regulation into self-regulation. Based on the interview, she relies everything heavily on the other regulation. The cognitive breakdown is she depended on her friend and extra notes from the lecture acts as a social support tool, and this also helped her to process everything that difficult concept until she can do by herself. The last theory is a tree, which is the problem solving, whereby the problem that has an obstacle blocking your path from the present state to the goal state. And the interview, based on the interview, that she having the problem to understanding the abstract or the concept of music rules on her own. And based on the cognitive breakdown, which is she by reaching the goal, she need the main strategy which is by repeated to solve the practical exercise that given in the class. It could prevent her forcing brain to practice, which is we call as the novice to the expert.